Want to know how to rank your videos better on YouTube? Well, it's actually pretty simple if you're using the right tools and you're doing things the right way. So I'm going to show you a tool and a really simple strategy that you can use to start ranking your videos on YouTube and get a lot more traffic. In fact, I use this exact same strategy to get over 1 million views on this YouTube video in less than a year. So first thing we got to talk about is figuring out what your keyword phrase is going to be. So anytime you're going to try to make a YouTube video, before you ever make that YouTube video, this is really important, make sure you figure out what that phrase is. Don't figure out after you film the video, because then it might not be a one-to-one match of what the video is actually about and then the phrase that you're trying to rank for. And the reason that's so important, we'll circle back to in a little bit. But the thing you want to look at when you're trying to figure out that keyword phrase is what is the search volume on that term. So you can figure this out using a tool I'll link to you in the description down below called TubeBuddy. And basically with that, you can pop in a term in there just like you would search on YouTube, and it'll basically tell you, if it's getting a lot of search volume every month or if it's not. And ideally, if you could, you'd want to rank for a video that's getting a lot of search volume. But that's not always necessarily an ideal scenario, especially if you have a smaller channel and you're newer to YouTube and your videos maybe aren't as good of quality as like a bigger channel that's been doing YouTube for a long time, has a big subscriber base. They have a much better chance of ranking for those super competitive, highly searched terms. So what you want to do is find something with a lot of search volume, but also ideally a lower competition, unless maybe you do have a bigger channel. Then you could probably throw that part of the advice out. And maybe you'll get lucky and you'll find something that has a lot of search volume and just for whatever reason no one's tapped into that niche and that term would maybe have low competition, then hey, go for that. But what TubeBuddy will do is tell you specifically, hey, this search term has a lot of volume and low competition, and basically it'll spit out a score for you out of 100 telling you if it's a good term to try to rank for. So if you find something that ranks 100, then yeah, make a video about that ASAP. So you'll probably find that, expanding the amount of words in the keyword phrase that you're trying to rank for will give you a better chance of ranking for it. If you just try to do something like how to draw, that's gonna be really hard to rank for. But if you try to rank for maybe how to draw unicorns on fire, then yeah, that's a search term that there's probably not a lot of people making videos for. So there's probably lower competition. I couldn't tell you what the search volume on that is, but there's a better chance that you would have lower competition. And if it does have a decent amount of volume, then you would have a really good keyword in your hands that you should make a video about ASAP. That's step one. Step two is to make a video about that, specifically what it's about, but keeping some specific things in mind. First of all, when you make that video, don't just put it on YouTube and hope that the search algorithm picks it up and you're gonna get a lot of views. Like maybe you will, but if you've got a brand new channel, you gotta send some people to that video. But don't just send any people to the video. Send people to the video that are gonna be interested in that topic. So if people aren't interested in how to draw unicorns on fire, then don't send those people that video. Find people that do want to draw unicorns on fire and send them that video. So you can find these people maybe in groups on Facebook or on Reddit, or maybe you have an email list, right? There's a lot of different areas online that you can find that you can send people to that video. But again, it's really important that they are interested in what that video is about, because the next big thing you want to make sure on that video is that you get a high click-through rate and a high audience retention. So click-through rate is determined by if people see your thumbnail on YouTube and they have a chance to click it, that's considered an impression. Every time someone clicks it, that's considered a click. So if 100 people see it, 100 impressions, and one person clicks, that's 1% click-through rate, 1 divided by 100. The higher your click-through rate, the better of a chance you have of getting that video to rank. So on top of getting that keyword phrase in your title, you also want to make sure that title is enticing. So how to draw unicorns on fire already is somewhat enticing, so you're probably good to go on that. But let's say you're just, making a video on how to change a flat tire. That's not super enticing, right? What if we did something like this? How to change a flat tire dash in 5 minutes or less. That's a little more enticing, because now you're like, okay, cool. Like no one wants to deal with a flat tire for a really long time. If you can get it changed in 5 minutes or less, I'm all about that. I want to watch that video. So now you got the keyword phrase in there and you've got the enticing element bring them all together, and that's gonna increase your chances of getting the click. On top of that, you wanna make sure your thumbnail is clear, vivid, simple. It shows probably a flat tire or a unicorn on fire, right? So people can really get an understanding of what the video is about really quickly. In fact, I would go one step further with that unicorn on fire picture and maybe add a little pencil in the picture, right, in the thumbnail. So then people know, okay, this is about drawing unicorns on fire. And then if you have to, maybe add a little bit of text to give some context. So like the flat tire one and the thumbnail, maybe I'd put 5 minutes and a little clock, right? To really give people an understanding of what the video is about, because they're usually gonna notice the thumbnail first before they see the title. And then besides that, get some colors in that thumbnail that are gonna pop. Now at the end of this video, I'm gonna have you some more keys that'll really help you come up with enticing thumbnails and titles. And the next thing that's really important for showing up in the search algorithm, and that is watch time. So remember those impressions we talked about before when people see your thumbnail in the feed and they have a chance to click it? That's an impression, right? Well, based on impressions, YouTube's gonna show the video at the top of the search results that they think has the chance to get the most watch time. Now, click-through rate is important because if they don't click your video, you don't get any watch time. But if they click your video and they watch it for like 5 seconds, that's not a good signal to YouTube. That says, okay, this video isn't about what we think it's about, or that it's just not a very good video, so we're gonna stop showing this to people. So what you wanna make sure is that when people click your video, they stay to the end and watch as much of the video as possible. Now, you're not gonna get everyone to stay to the end, but that should be your goal, is to try to get everyone to stay to the end. So make the content good, enticing, simple, cut out the fluff, make sure you get right to the point. But there's another element at play here, and that is watch time, right? Because like I said, YouTube's gonna look at all these videos that they could show at the top of the search results, and they're gonna say, based on the impression, how much watch time do we think they're gonna get? So if your video is just like 1 minute long, and yeah, sure, it cuts out the fluff and gets to the point like really quick, that might be a good thing. But if there's a video that's 5 minutes and people are watching 3 minutes only, that video is probably gonna rank higher because it's getting more watch time. YouTube wants to keep people on their platform for longer. So one thing you can do is make your video a little bit longer. Think of some relevant information that would be helpful, some examples, maybe some extra little tips, and put those in your video. So that way you're not just giving people fluff, you're giving them extra elements that will actually help them, and they'll want to continue to watch all the way to the end because you're just packing a punch every single step of the way and giving better and better information. To get that watch time up and to get that click-through rate up, there's some really important tactics and one overarching strategy you have to have in place, which I cover in this YouTube video. Make sure you watch that video. That'll help you a ton with making better videos that get a higher click-through rate, higher watch time, and will also help you boost your search ranking. Subscribe and click the bell icon if you found this video helpful, and I'll see you in that video next.